Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about I've Chosen to Be Intentionally Courageous by Kendall Harvey. Friedreich's Ataxia, FA, has taught me a lot about intentionality. As an FA patient, I must be intentional both physically and emotionally to function at the capacity I desire. I used to take my physical abilities for granted before my FA symptoms started. I practiced hard at swimming, yet the rhythm of the butterfly and freestyle strokes came naturally to me. I was a good swimmer, which made it fun. I didn't have to think about it, I just trained my body to become faster and more efficient. My body responded and preformed. It was a relief to be able to turn off my brain and push my body. Oh, how things have changed. My FA symptoms now have progressed to the point where I need a walker to function independently. FA has taken away my physical ease across the board. Nothing comes naturally or easily anymore, and nothing is mindless. I do what I can to stay strong, dexterous, and healthy by working out daily and going to physical therapy every week. My physical therapist begins our sessions by asking if I've had any falls, what symptoms most disrupt my day, and what I need worked on. Lately, FA has taken hold of my feet, which consequently has become my chief complaint at physical therapy. I have less sensation overall, but my toes are painfully curling. I have restless legs at night and get beastly cramps in my legs and feet. Recently, I experienced more falls and near falls than ever since I started using a walker in early 2019. My physical therapist and I realized that my body hadn't adapted to the loss of sensation, and I was now unknowingly dragging my feet and toes. I have to think diligently about every step I take, again. This is particularly frustrating, because a big silver lining to using a walker, besides being a significant improvement in my ability to avoid falling, was that walking had become a little mindless again. But FA has taken that from me, too. Chronic physical fatigue is a major symptom that nearly all FA patients struggle with. I expected it as I learned more about my disease after my 2103 diagnosis. But I was not prepared for the mental fatigue. Being so mindful and intentional about every single move I make is exhausting. With my limited physical abilities, I have become intensely intentional to function safely. This has bled into all areas of my life. I have become more disciplined and intentional with my time, attention, diet, and words. I also have become intentionally courageous. I used to cringe when people used words like inspiring or strong to describe me. I didn't feel strong when my symptoms progressed to the point that I couldn't walk independently anymore. I didn't feel inspiring when the darkness of this relentless uphill battle crushed my spirit. As I have adjusted to my increasingly failing abilities to keep pursuing a happy life of my choosing, those adjectives now inspire and push me to choose courage in the face of my fears. Lecturer and author Brené Brown, who studies courage, vulnerability, guilt, and shame, opened my eyes about how to live intentionally courageously. In her book I Thought It Was Just Me, Brown wrote that courage used to mean to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart. Over time, she continued, this definition has changed, and today, we typically associate courage with heroic and brave deeds. But in my opinion, this definition fails to recognize the inner strength and level of commitment required for us to actually speak honestly and openly about who we are and about our experiences, good and bad. Speaking from our hearts is what I think of as ordinary courage. Next time someone tells me that I am strong or courageous, instead of immediately dismissing the thought because I am not a Marvel Avenger out saving the world with crazy stunts and heroic physical strength, I will feel renewed knowing that I am a different kind of hero with a different kind of courage. I will keep sharing my heart to be intentionally courageous, all to make the world a better place. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about Battling Mobility Envy as My FA Symptoms Progress by Kendall Harvey. Friedreich's Ataxia, FA, is a cruel, degenerative genetic disease that attacks the central nervous system and deteriorates muscle coordination, strength, energy, and dexterity. It steals motor skills, making FA patients progressively more disabled. As an FA patient working my way through the symptom progression, I can tell you that it never gets easier. Losing my mobility, dexterity, and energy daily no matter what I do to combat my disease is disheartening and frustrating. It is a relentless uphill battle that makes me completely weary, mind, body, and soul. However, even with everything FA puts me through, I aim to remain positive. I love my life and all of the people around me. I have a phenomenally supportive, understanding, and optimistic husband. I have 2 compassionate and silly kids who lovingly see me as mom despite any shortcomings. I have wise, kind, and generous parents who do everything they can to make life with FA as pleasant as possible. My extended family and friends are so encouraging, flexible, and sympathetic. Basically, my village sets me up for success in the face of my failing body. Yet the weight of the reality of my disease overshadows everything occasionally. This weekend was one of those times. We had a family reunion and celebrated my mother's 60th birthday. I threw a surprise party for her at my house on Friday and we did a whole day of silly poolside games at my parents' house on Saturday. While prepping for the party, I was busy doing this and that around the house to decorate, clean, organize, and prepare. I would knock out 4 or 5 tasks and then have to completely stop and wait for my able-bodied husband to be available to slip away from work for a few minutes to help me with something, be it climbing a step stool to grab something, carry something big and / or heavy to another room, move something, etc. I desperately wish I could flawlessly do it all. In my mind, I can so easily see healthy Kendall bopping up that step ladder to grab the serving platter to display the fruit salad. I can picture my kids' faces when they walk in and see the artfully draped banners and balloons that mom put up. But my body won't let me do it. I have to humbly ask for help, then patiently and graciously accept it way more than I want to and more than the average person has to. While I watch people help me, I am grateful, yet I battle with what I've come to label mobility envy. I get so frustrated by my inability to carry out seemingly simple tasks, all because of my FA symptom progression. I despise my disability, covet independence, and crave health. When I catch glimpses of my family eyeing me, worried that I will fall doing something, or when I have to ask my 84-year-old grandma to carry something for me, it crushes my spirit. I wanted to be like all the amazing, strong, independent, take-charge women I admired when I was growing up. I envisioned being the mom helping the dads wrangle toddlers in the field during t-ball games and running to play silly games with the middle schoolers during summer camp. I pictured climbing a ladder and letting my son set the star atop the Christmas tree. I dreamed about flitting around the kitchen to prepare flawless spreads while entertaining company. I never pictured having to ask my healthy 3-year-old daughter to bring my walker to me so that I could walk to the other room. I never envisioned my 5-year-old son noticing me losing my balance and coming to steady me. I never expected to go to physical therapy every week to practice basic mobility and strength. I wasn't prepared to feel like a helpless spectator in my life. Yet this is the reality of my disease. My body is less capable than I ever expected or wished for. I can either succumb to the misery of this reality, or I can make the best of what I can do, and be a joyful and active spectator. I choose the latter. I choose joy. There will be times when the dark overpowers the light, but all I can do is keep trying to live in the light. After all, living is brighter and easier there. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about Growing Bigger Than Friedreich's Ataxia by Kendall Harvey. People respond to adversity in many different ways. You can rise to the challenge or crumble under its weight. You can push through or bail. Sometimes, you have to pick your battles and know when to fight or when to fold. That discernment takes maturity, strength, experience, and wisdom. Now and then, folding is more challenging than fighting. As a Friedreich's Ataxia, FA, patient, I am faced with a real fight or flight choice daily. I choose to fight for my life every single day, despite the strong urge to fly away from my adversity. As my FA symptoms progress and affect more aspects of my life, the flight option becomes less of a possibility. I can't ignore my FA at any point during the day anymore. FA is my constant reality and I am surrounded by its effects. My FA is becoming a bigger and bigger factor in my day-to-day, so I have had to learn how to fight bigger than FA. One quote that motivates me daily is by Harry Emerson Fosdick: "Rebellion against your handicaps gets you nowhere. Self-pity gets you nowhere." One must have the adventurous daring to accept oneself as a bundle of possibilities and undertake the most interesting game in the world, making the most of one's best. I never expected to be disabled, yet here I am. I am a disabled mom, wife, friend, daughter, neighbor, etc. Every day, I am learning to embrace my handicaps and make the most of my best. I am picking my battles and striving for my best life. To be my best, I have to constantly accept help from my walker. It is surreal, being dependent on assistance to do something as mundane as getting up from the table to grab a glass of water. Yet, this is my current reality and this is how I grow bigger than FA. I adapt and find ways to try to keep living a normal life despite my symptom progression. I keep relentlessly pursuing a normal life despite FA's relentless efforts to make my life abnormal. My walker does not embody me giving up on my independence like I once thought it did. Instead, my walker is my trophy. It is a physical reminder of my choice to fight for my best life, safely. Each morning, I have a choice of how I will respond to my reality. I can grin and bear it, give in, or try to genuinely make my day a good day. Some days, the most fight I can muster is dragging myself out of bed, grabbing a protein bar, and putting on a movie for the kids. Other days, I am ready to tackle requests for homemade waffles, bacon and eggs, and a day of playing in the yard with my kids. Both forms of fighting are okay, as long as I keep trying my best each day. That is how I keep getting bigger than FA. Life is full of possibilities and chances to do your best. Even if your best looks different than you expected, keep trying. Keep adapting. Keep accepting help. Keep seeking areas for improvement. Keep growing bigger. Keep making the most of your best. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about Choosing to be Silly by Kendall Harvey. My kids are super into hide and seek right now. They play it with Kyle for about 45 minutes every night after dinner. Hearing their giggles and excited screams fills my heart with pure joy. These are the silly moments I'm going to remember of their childhood. However, I'm in an internal war. I'm so angry at my body for not allowing me to participate in these shenanigans. I can't get into a spot quickly enough, and all my hiding spots are given away by my walker sitting right by where I'm hiding. Just another little, annoyingly heartbreaking, that FA has taken from me. My sweet family has done a wonderful job of incorporating me. I'm the official clue giver, but I wish I could participate like a normal, healthy parent. Here's a picture of my silly family that always inspires me to find joy whenever and wherever I can. Please pray that the joy overpowers my sadness. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about Behind Closed Doors, Why I Share the Reality of FA. By Kendall Harvey. I am an open book about most areas of my life. I'll answer just about any question I am asked, even questions about my Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. FA is a rare, progressive, degenerative neuromuscular disease that few people have heard of, and even fewer are truly knowledgeable about. As an active mom of two who uses a walker due to FA symptomatic progression, I attract a lot of curiosity. When I was diagnosed with this disease I had never heard of at age 25, I decided then and there to share openly throughout my journey to raise awareness for my disease and to encourage others facing adversity. It has been a wild ride. FA has opened doors for me and given me spotlight opportunities. I have made new friends and learned so very much. It has also closed doors, ripped away opportunities, strained friendships, and changed me to my core. Being an open book has its limits, however. I don't publicly share every single nitty-gritty detail of my life with FA in the name of raising awareness for several reasons, the main one being that there are too many details. I don't want to overshare the bad and drown out the good in my life. Basically, I don't want to constantly throw a pity party for an audience. The other reasons I keep some symptoms behind closed doors are for my audience. A symptom like poor balance that requires a walker is understandable and people can generally grasp that reality. When I mention chronic fatigue, people are less clear about this invisible symptom. People try to relate and think about a season of life when they were really tired, but usually, that season has passed. People can't relate to my being chronically exhausted no matter how much I sleep, how often I exercise, or how well I fuel my body. Because of this, I don't often bring up the topic of my chronic fatigue. Sometimes sharing the reality of my disease can become pretty negative and depressing. There aren't medical silver linings to a degenerative disease like FA. When I share the specifics, I feel as though I am publicly airing grievances and that negativity breeds pity. That is not my goal. In sharing the reality of my life with FA, I want to raise awareness and offer a ray of hope through adversity, not make people sad or scared about a medical tragedy. I want to make the world brighter, not darker or scarier. I choose to share my journey with FA in the hopes that it will help advance research that will lead to a treatment, and eventually a cure, for myself and my fellow FA community. I am not trying to be a medical journal, public lab rat, or that disabled girl everyone pities. Like everyone else, I have many facets to my life. I am not solely defined by FA. When you walk through a progressive, relentlessly degenerative disease like FA, things get dark. I do share the hard, real, and raw moments because I believe it is important to paint a clear picture. There are more dark moments in which I am battling my reality and my fears that I choose to keep behind closed doors. There are also monotonous moments, normal moments, happy moments, victorious moments, etc. My days are not solely dictated by FA. If you really want to know what life with FA is like behind closed doors, scroll through my collection of My Darling Disability columns and my social media posts. Multiply those glimpses of my very real highs and lows by 50, and that is a typical day with FA: good, bad, and ugly. Chaotic and beautiful. Real. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about How I've Adapted to Being Disabled in an Able-Bodied World, by Kendall Harvey. Before I developed symptoms and then was diagnosed at 25 with Friedreich's Ataxia, FA, a progressive and degenerative disease, I was healthy, active, and able. Since my symptoms progressed, I no longer am able, at least not without assistance. Being disabled was not part of my plans for the future. Disability caused by FA is a lifelong personal and emotional journey that no one can prepare you for. I never expected pitying smiles when people watch me walk my kids to preschool. I never anticipated paralyzing fear when making my body perform relatively simple tasks. I never planned to desperately cling to a clinical trial for hope for survival. I never aimed to be inspiring by doing the things that all moms do, just because I'm not able-bodied. Life with a progressive disease is full of struggle, sadness, fear, and the unknown. But it is also full of opportunities for growth, strength, and learning. I have learned more about genetics than I ever anticipated. I have developed a strong awareness and compassion for my fellow members of the disabled community. I have made wonderful friends with people I never would have met without the FA community. I am learning how to use my voice as a force of light and strength. Because of these opportunities, I am thankful for FA. What I want people to know about life with a rare disease, specifically FA, is that it's complicated. Nothing in my life is simple. No task is mindless. Every task is taxing. FA has affected every area of my life. Using an assistive device does not remove those complications, rather it aids my ability to cope with my symptoms and attempt to carry on as normally as possible. FA is always on my mind, and it is always trying to pull me into a dark, negative, and unproductive headspace. It is just as mentally exhausting to be me as it is physically exhausting. I also want people to know that living with a progressive disease is a process. I have good and bad days. I have seasons of triumph and defeat just like everyone else. Sometimes, I am honored to be an inspiration, while other days I just want to be normal. Everyone has a story. Everyone has complications in life. My life story happens to contain a cruel disease. I am always willing to discuss my life and the adversity I face. I do not shy away from awkward or uncomfortable situations anymore. FA has taught me to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. It is okay to be curious about my disease. And it is okay to ask. Chances are I can see the concern in your eyes, so go ahead and ask. Just like everyone, I crave companionship and friendship. I despise the fact that FA has tainted my ability to make and maintain friendships. My disease makes people shy away from asking me to join them for fear of making me feel uncomfortable or pressured. No one wants to make the disabled girl say, "No, I can't do that." When I'm not invited because people worry about how it will make me feel, I feel even worse and more disabled. I still want to come to game night, even though I may be unable to participate in goofy handstand contests. I still want to go to an event even though I'll have to park in the handicapped spot and use the elevator. I would rather be given the opportunity to say no, I can't than miss the chance to participate. I often feel like my walker is a barrier between me and the able-bodied world, when really it is my attempt to be a part of that world. I am learning and exploring my ever-changing limits, and I appreciate the grace and space to adapt to this life that my friends and family have given me. I just want the world to know that my disability does not define me. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description.